Okay, so this is another question that we have to find the sum of squares, the sum of roots rather, and the product of roots. Now, the equation we have here is px squared equals q. Of course, it's a quadratic equation because of the presence of x squared. Whenever you see x squared, you know it's a quadratic equation, but we need to put it in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c. Very important before we can solve for the sum of roots and product of roots. Now, to put it in that format, we would have p x squared. We'll take q to this other side of the equation. It becomes minus q and equals to 0. So if you notice, in this case, there is no x. There is no x. So it means that a would be p. The value of a is p. Now, the value of, remember the value of a is this coefficient of x squared, which is p. Now, the value of b, now, there is no x. B is supposed to be the coefficient of x, but there's no x. Since there's no x, the value of b will be 0. And then what will be the value of c? The value of c, of course, in this case is minus q. Minus q, this is the constant, minus q. Minus q, that's the constant. Because remember I said it's supposed to be in ax squared plus bx plus c. But all these are, bx is not present, so that's why b is equals to 0, since there is no x in that equation. Now, it's now time for us to solve the sum of roots. So sum of root is alpha plus beta, which is equals to minus b over a. And remember, b is 0, so minus 0, which is still the same as 0, then over a is p. Now, 0 over p is 0. So sum of the equation is 0. The sum of the equation is 0. Now, what about the product? Product is alpha beta, which is equals to c over a. And what is c? We already identify our c as minus q. C is minus q. So let's go back there and put c. The c is minus q. Then all over a. What is a? A is p. So remember, c is negative q. That's negative q. C is negative q. And a is p. So the product of the root, rather, the product of the root will now be minus q over p, or negative q over p. Negative q over p. Why the sum of the roots, as we did earlier on, is 0.